Okay, hello, testing. Alright, everything seems good. Um, I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be streaming this because I did come from work. I did an overnight shift, so I'm I'm a little tired, but I was telling myself I kind of wanna I sort of wanna get through this game a bit because I do wanna try and finish this up and things like that. But yeah, so I think yesterday I stopped at the investigation of day one. So right now I'm doing the trial. So with that said, let's really get this going. Okay, October 18th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammers in Studio One of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I bet. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I will explain the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run through of their action scene during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studio. The security lady that works at the studio was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Okay, so that's the security station. Got it. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone would like to hear that again? Nah, I think I got it pretty much. Oh shit, I picked listen again. Oh my gosh, I wasn't reading. I should have known it would be you, pal. Okay, listen, man, you don't gotta make that snide ass remark. Mentally challenged lawyer? Oh, nah. Yeah, I already got this. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Right. Got it. All right. Let me not. Okay, skip it. Okay. I think I could probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court records. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the gas station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? Oh. Oh. Ma, aren't you a handsome fellow? Oh no. Oh no. I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. You know, I know a guy. I actually know a guy who's really into grandmas on that level. Damn, I just gave myself goosebumps thinking about that. Your name, please. Seeing Judgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me. Oh, she's going on a tangent. Oh boy. Objection! I object to the witness talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness is stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, see, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, anyone will have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Witness accounts. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the gas station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the gas station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Got it. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked past me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed toward the studio. Very aggressive. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I'll be right back. Actually, give me 1 second. I had to go get me a bottle of water because I gotta do a lot of talking in this game, so I don't want my throat being dried out and things like that. Okay, witness account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. So up until that time, anyone who wanted to could go into the studio. Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked there. You need an employee key card to get in. Right, the key card. So that's what she's saying, no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in. Was anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station? Paul, Hammer, and the rest have been doing a run through. Have been doing a run through there since the morning. A run through? They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammond went to studio 1 in the afternoon. So Powers was in the dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there at afternoon? I had some errands to run that morning. Like what? What kind of errands? Yeah, what kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. You know what? Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers observing, you know? Observing? Why are you supposed to be at the guard station? For real. You're making the security guards look bad. And I say this as a security guard. Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run through. Always. It seemed like she want Hammer to run through her, if you know what I'm saying. Haha. Oof. Oof. Never missed one in all my years. Wow. I want to see a Steel Samurai run through too. How old is Maya, like 17? Be careful with her saying that. You can quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. Okay. Did you see the victim then? Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He's already gone to the studio before I get back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Okay. So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second? Of course. I'm a professional, you know. That's lies, because I know I'd be taking a whole shit ton of breaks when I'm at work. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, Whippersnapper? No, it's just after seeing you eat those donuts in the guard station yesterday, I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. I mean, you gotta be careful, sweetheart. I don't want you to be a diabetic. Snipper Whapper? Snipper Whapper? Old windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty during that. So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see? Now the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Let me look at my court records again. Yeah, 2:30. So all I got is this. The key card and this picture of Powers, supposedly. How did you know that? Oh, I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job. Damn, Gumshoe. Poor Detective Gumshoe getting ratted out by a security guard. Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. 2? You're sure? Sure as spit. That's gross. Well, who was the man, really? You should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Oh, she's one to talk. Nah, don't get your skills all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there. And he was headed towards the studio. That's the thing, though. How she wouldn't really know, because one, he's in a suit. That could be anybody. Let me get this straight. Old bag, Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Tokyo. Miss Old Bag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. Ooh, logic. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. Don't pop a blood vessel now. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Mr. Witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. Jesus. Of course I have proof. What? Even Edgeworth is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I supposed to know everyone will be so nosy? You should be ashamed of all. You should be ashamed, all of you. I mean, you're the witness. Your duty is to basically give all the necessary information that you know. Oh God, Wendy Old Bag, never change, sweetheart, never change. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Ooh, she throwing Gumshoe under the bus even harder. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. Oh shit, that scared the fuck out of me. Hey, what's going on, Fro? How you been? The man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene. Also, thanks for that one bit. I appreciate it. So that's how that shit works, huh? Nice. I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? I mean, not really. So he sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. My brother is snoring kind of loudly over there. Jesus. The man in the photo. Okay. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. Right? That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. Trip and fall? Yes. And to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a yeah, she is just disrespectful. Like hella disrespectful. Hold on, I might have to close my door because yeah, it's a very brother snoring super loud. But yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurts. Oh. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankles. Let me continue your testimony. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. Yep, the Silver Samurai case. This is probably one of my... I think this one in the 5th case is definitely my favorite case in the first game. His samurai spear, the murder weapon. Luckily, I was there with the duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Cool. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay. I think we heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there's one thing that bothers me, which is, where is the Steel Samurai costume now? Oh yeah, where is the costume? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. They couldn't find it. Wasn't he in the suit? We're looking through. Anyway, that's not important. Pretty sure that is. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes? And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai's suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure? Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? I'm not sure. What? I'm trying to remember. Should I object to this? Or just wait and see what happens? Let me wait and wait and see what happens. I suppose since there wasn't any additional crew members at the studio that day, it's quite likely that it was the defendant inside that costume. I see no problem with this evidence. Most perceptive, Your Honor. He still doesn't seem that convinced to me. I hope. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask. No need to ask twice. Okay. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True. The only person I saw going to the studio before them was Will Powers. No one else went there. If that had, I would have seen him. So if no one went to the studio, then it would have to be this steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30, true? How do you know that? Eh? Didn't I just explain? Oh yeah, she did say that. I gave donuts to the young detective, and then after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. Let's see, Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody suspicious looking, right? No one else went there. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure? The witnesses answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Oh boy, she got a fan. Oh, Sookie now. Edgework about to get them old drawers. Edgy boy? My man is distraught. Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Old Windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. So, the only person I saw go to the studio before him was Will Powers. Got it. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Trying to think. Gosh, it's been so long since I played this game. Like, I remember bits and pieces of cases. Like, I can remember how some things played out, but it's been so long on what was what that it's like, damn, I'm actually kind of stumped. I feel like I still should show the picture because it's not definitive proof. Yeah, I kind of figured. Hold on. Look at this photography one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studio, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are prints the words October 15, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2. The computer only had data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Ah, that's right. I remember that detail. Order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. The fuck you mean? It's self-explanatory, my guy. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1 but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. Eh? You better watch your mouth, whippersnapper. Only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these new fangled computer things. Edgy boy, help. Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Damn, the switch up energy from her is crazy. Whippersnapper. Something the matter, Miss Old Bag? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Talk to me. Let me guess. Someone else passed the gate? Someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. Let's see. Your testimony, please. The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Old Bag, it's the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. This lady is a menace to society. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. Another job? That's right. I check all the people that pass by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that the security camera takes. Do you back up all of the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrated. Sounds like they should not have an old person doing security. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces for the most part. This woman is a down bad security guard. for the most part. This is a murder trial, Miss Old Bag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking World Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Clearly. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Well, who in the heck was in the photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Still samurai fanboys. Real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one can get in. Those were your words. True, those were her words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. Yo, you knew about this? Like, you should report that, miss. Like, what you doing? What do you... Yo, like, failure in a security guard. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Oh, don't be calling kids freaks. What's wrong with you, lady? Like, that's out of line. Whose grandma is this? Kids. So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studio that day. One was a still samurai, dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh, yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right. As I said, I ain't paying much mind. Ain't a good look though. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Need to tell that to Miss Old Bag. October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court. Mr. Powers. Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio. I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest. So who was the steel samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone who would want to steal a steel samurai costume. I mean, true, I guess. So, where does that leave me? I mean, I'll tell you, I know for certain that you need to, do something about that rug on your chest there. It's poking out of your shirt. That's not a good look. It doesn't look good. Sniff. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could convincingly have done it. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. Of course I'm not optimistic, man. I've only been a lawyer for 2 days. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick. It's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sound like that. Sniff. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Willpower. Hell, Edgeworth is such a fuckboy, I swear. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind, however. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who's this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder? I'm about to throw the security lady under the boat. It would be funny if I said the assistant girl, the grade school boy. It would be funny. It would be funny. Alas, I'm not gonna do that. It was a security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The still samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew more about the morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammers who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order, order. Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she had no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the steel samurai costume, then slipped into Studio One, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble wearing the steel samurai costume? I hiccups there for a second. Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her place. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I kinda just bullshitted, bro. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. Okay. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. Finally, Edgeworth ain't being a fuckboy. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it. Is that it? Edgy boy, don't you just sit there. Do something. That is terrifying. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. I'm gonna press further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's action on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. I did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. I mean, if you did that shit to me, I'd have like the illest grudge on you for all eternity. There's no hard feelings to that, bro. You can't just say that. Wait, just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler though. As you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, was he? That doesn't matter. Yeah. She said, fuck it, I'm gonna throw the kid under the bus. When I was that age, I could pin my own man. I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Yo, kind of shit was going on in that house. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? The boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day? Whippersnappers. I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's see the proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows that the boy could not have committed this murder? Do I have proof? Oh.
Take that!
Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? Oh, she's seething. The windbag, speechless. It's got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on a current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into the Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Nice. Wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree, me. I'm talking. Oh shit. Oh great. Not the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there is something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to accuse me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why do you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. Really? No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. The Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer for starters. The director? You should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined a producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? It was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey head was falling over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the course examination? I think I already asked all my questions, but we'll keep going. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side. Ah, they bribed her. So you got bonus and you still talked. I'll think of it. I'm gonna continue. So you were told not to talk? That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less. Why didn't I hear about this? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We're all in on it. They told me just pretend they had been at the studio that day. So they were actually in the studio. Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. Grumble, I'll kill this one, I swear it. I feel sorry for Edgeworth, almost. She really left them hanging on this one. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Them? Who are these people? What are they? Oh, I read this already. Right. Oh, you go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey head was falling over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? Your Honor, we have learned that there were others at the Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. Edgeworth is tight. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceeding in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. October 18th. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Aw, really? It's nothing. Oh, or should I sniff? Yo. Well, we'll be going down to the studio to do some more investigating. We'll have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that still samurai costume? Could it really have been Miss Oldbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I admit. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. True. Poor old windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studio. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks, guys. Sniff. Ah, boy. I kind of forgot. This might be one of the longer cases in the game. Okay, so time for an investigation.